Well, hello, Dorian. Welcome to WG Contents Unscripted.
Thank you so much, Kirsten.
Yeah, it's so nice to have you. So, Dorian is the Chief Marketing and Communication Officer for Morehouse School of Medicine. Have our teams have known each other for a number of years, and she has agreed to join me for this unscripted conversation. She knows what she's getting into, and we're just going to dive in. And she's
Sounds good.
promised me that she is truly unprepared and unscripted. So, we're going to see what we learn about you. Are you
All
ready?
right, I am ready.
All right, this should be a pretty easy one. What helps you reset when things feel busy or overwhelming?
When things are overwhelming, I just have to stop. I take a full pause, I stop, and I go to something that grounds me. Usually that is, my husband or friends, family, something
Hmm.
that grounds me. I take a phone call, talk to someone I haven't talked to in a while, something that can kind of get my mind off of that so that I can
Yeah.
come back refreshed with a different frame of
Hmm.
mind.
Well, those friends and family are important.
Yes,
You've got
that
to
support
you
system
got to keep that
is very
village
important. Yes.
around you. That is for sure. All right. Speaking of your friends, if your
Okay.
closest friends had to describe you in 3 words, what would they say?
Oh.
That's a tricky one.
That's a very tricky one, depending
Yeah.
on the friends. I have some
Yeah, that's true.
lovely friends. I think that they would say that I am honest to a fault.
Hmm.
I like to speak my mind, so they would probably say I'm very honest. I'm generous. I
Hmm.
am generous with those that I care about, and I think they would say I'm pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Those
think
are three
that's a
really
role I
good.
feel in my friend group. I
Yeah.
think I'm pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you were just describing actually before we hit record your trip to Portugal.
Yes.
So, 2 weeks in Portugal, taking cooking classes and just immersing yourselves in the culture and everything that you did. I can see that being fun part is very natural for you. So,
Yeah.
I love that. All right. Well, if you could swap jobs with anyone for a day, who would it be?
Oh, no, that's a good one because there are so many people doing some
There's
amazing
like fun
things.
jobs, hard jobs, responsible jobs, change the world
Well,
jobs. I
I
mean,
think I have a responsible job in what I do. So I would probably say I would swap jobs with the executive director of the Obama Foundation. I know
oh,
building that and all the things that are
yeah.
going into that sound like an incredible challenge
Hmm.
that I would love to take part in.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a great answer. I love that answer. So, speaking of jobs and who you would switch jobs with, what was your very first job? Like your very
Uh,
first job making money.
my
Like
very
maybe.
first job making money. So I'm from Cleveland. And
Okay.
so there are, barbecue in Cleveland is, people don't see Cleveland as that, but
Hmm.
there's a barbecue place almost on every corner.
Hmm.
And so my first job was making Polish boys, which is a Cleveland staple of a kielbasa a sausage,
Okay.
coleslaw, French fries on a bun, but dropping these kielbases in oil, a fry cook. I was dropping those, and that was my very first job. And I was not known as a cook or being interested in it as the youngest of six. Everyone else did the cooking, so my dad couldn't believe that. He was like, "You're cooking? For who? What is happening?" So that was my very first job, which did not last very long because he was right that it was not for me.
Okay, but I'm so curious about this sandwich. So you prepare the sandwich and then the entire sandwich is submerged for to be
No.
fried?
So you
Okay.
submerge the sausage, you take the sausage
Oh,
out, you place it on a bun. Then there's the coleslaw,
okay.
barbecue sauce, and then French fries. But
The
they
fries
all have
go
to be
on the
the
sandwich.
right consistency in order for it to be a good sandwich. It's called a Polish boy.
Okay, and have you had a Polish boy recently or not since?
I have Actually, not recently, but in the past 3 years, there was a restaurant that opened up in Atlanta where I am, owned by Clevelanders, and they
Hmm.
sold it. And I had one, and I was in heaven. I haven't had one in probably 20 years, so it was very good.
There's people that I've met, through these unscripted when we talk about their first jobs, and a lot of them are in food, like the Dairy Queens and the pizza places and the McDonald's and those sorts of things that hire 15-year-olds. And, they all have like memories of, what it was like being around the same food all the time. And there is this like nostalgia that carries into your adulthood where you're like, oh, like the whatever it was, like it does bring you back. So did it feel that way for you? Like it
It
brings you back to
definitely
that?
felt that way
Yeah.
for me, and my stomach was able to tolerate it at this age, which was even better. That's why I was like, "Oh, this is quality
Yeah.
stuff. I
Yeah.
can tolerate it." Because some things I see in
Yeah.
nostalgia, I want it, I eat it, and I regret it.
Hmm. And it can go the other way too, where you're like, you were around it so much as a kid or like in your job that you're like,
Oh yeah,
you've such
that's
an
with
aversion
candy.
to it. You're like, there's no way I'm going to ever eat that again because I smelled it and I saw it prepared and I'm not going to eat it.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Very.
Yeah. People that work in like hot dog plants and stuff are like, no, you really don't want to eat a hot dog. I'm like, well, yes, I do because I don't know. Um, okay. So what is something that you're looking forward to this year? We're about halfway through the year, which is really shocking.
It
Yeah.
is. For me, I'm looking forward to pivoting. I'm in a
Mm.
constant pivot depending on what's going on externally, what's
Mhm.
happening. And so instead of dreading it, I've tried to change my mindset into it's time to pivot. This is another opportunity to go further or do, more with less, or what challenge can I present to myself so that I can stay motivated to keep going. So I know that with everything that's going on, by the end of the year, there's going to be another pivot. And I'm just looking forward to see if I can prepare, if I'm able to get in front of it so that I can react to it appropriately.
I think that message is remarkable and probably something that every one of us needs to hear because we're all going through pivots, or potential things. And so I think changing your mindset around looking forward to it, being prepared for it, imagining and kind of envisioning what the outcome of that is a really healthy way to approach it. How do you do it? I mean, do you have a practice or something that helps you do that?
No, I'm struggling like everybody else,
Yeah.
but I have pivoted so much in the last couple of years, especially professionally, that now it becomes part of my practice to try to look ahead. What is going to happen that I'm not anticipating that I can try to get ready for? Because you never can fully prepare. But if
Mhm.
you, I'm finding that having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset is really helping me to say, how can I grow? How can what I'm doing grow? And how can I make my team grow? What can I do to help everybody kind of move forward? But I always include myself in that because if I can't move forward, I certainly can't guide or direct anyone else.
That's so true. Are there any books or podcasts or things that stand out for you that help you with that?
Oh my
I know I'm
goodness.
putting you on the spot, but
I listen to everything.
yeah,
I'm so eclectic in what I'm listening to. When I have conversations with people, I ask them, what are you listening to right now that's
yeah,
helping you? What's
yeah.
what's I've done everything from the let them theory.
Hmm.
I've listened to you know, therapy
Hmm.
podcasts. I
Hmm.
listen to who's doing what. But
Hmm.
I think one of my favorites is, listening to and whenever she's interviewed Bozoma Saint John, because she is
Oh,
just
nice.
so bold and fearless to me that every
Yeah.
time I hear her, I'm inspired to go further and do a little bit more. I'm like, ah, I can do something else. So
I'm gonna have to look. I'm not familiar. What is just quickly like who is that?
so well, right now she's even more out because she's on one of the Real Housewives franchises, but that's not how I know her.
Yeah.
She is in the Marketing Hall of Fame for the innovative things she's done with. She's been with Uber. She's been
Okay.
with it's
So
missing me
she's a
all of the
marketing
big. Mhm.
leader that has,
She's a marketing guru that
okay.
knows how to market brands and herself.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look her
And
up.
so I love her boldness and her
Yeah.
fearlessness. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's that boldness, and like that can become inspiring when you do need to pivot, right? Like when you're like, okay, we know this is coming or we have these hard changes or whatever, that you have how you can be inspired because it's hard to
Right.
stay inspired, right? And so you have to find,
Especially right now.
yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like what are the sources of inspiration? And they're all around us, but it's fun to find out like and helpful to find out what other people are tapping into. So I'm gonna look her up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If I think of any more, I'll send them to you
Yeah.
because I'm sure it's some I'm not mentioning.
All right. So what's on your someday I want to do that list?
That's a great question. There's so many things I want to do, but someday I would like to open or run a gift service for unique gifts. I'm
Mm.
a very big person on giving gifts. I try to do it to their personality. I look at who they are. And if I could just do unique gifts by referral only, of course, I only want people to come, give me your budget, and let me present you with options. I would love that.
You're like a gift concierge.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I do that for my friends, or when people are looking to source things, they come to me and say, this is what I'm looking for. I can't find it. And I just will find it.
So, that tells me that you're probably a very empathetic person.
I
Because
am.
yeah, because I think that it's hard. So it's not very common to have that gift, of like really if someone comes to you and says, like, I have this person in my life that I want to give a gift to, and you know what kind of questions to ask, like what sort of to look into to know that perfect gift is. And that tells me that you're a very empathetic person to kind of get into
I
the
mean,
heart and mind of the people that are receiving it.
it's almost what I do every day in my job. In order to
Hmm.
market to people, you have to resonate with them. And in order to
Yeah,
resonate with them, you have to know who they are. So you have to be interested
100%.
enough
Yeah.
to know. And so I think because that's what I do every day when I'm looking for gifts for people, how can I make this useful for you?
Hmm.
What would be useful for you that won't be useful for me or someone else?
Yeah. Does any gift stand out for you that you've given over the years that you're like, oh, that one is really like
I
a
think
winner?
yes, and it wasn't just a gift, it was an experience.
Okay.
I recently, one of my sisters, we took her to New Orleans for her birthday, and I know that my sister is very different from me.
Hmm.
She's more of an introvert. She loves history and culture and all these things where I would be like, let's eat, let's
Hmm.
go, let's go to
Hmm.
this, let's go to that. So I curated a trip that was very much centered to what she liked to do. And she said that that was one of the best birthdays she's had because it
Oh.
was all the things that she loved
Were you
versus
with
what
her on the
I love.
trip?
Hmm?
Were you with her on the trip?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
good. Yeah. So you created the whole itinerary and you were
I
able to enjoy it
created
with her. And
everything based on her likes and what she liked to do. And some of those things I don't love so much, but it's not my birthday, it's yours. So, it wasn't unpleasant. It's just something I wouldn't
yeah.
have chosen to do.
Oh,
So
that's
it was
very
very
sweet.
quiet. It was very much what she wanted.
Yeah. Well, that's very sweet. Lucky sister. Well, here's your last question. You've done great. And that is what's bringing you joy these days. We talked a lot about the change and the pivots and the hard things of life today. So what's bringing you joy?
Believe it or not, my husband. And
Oh,
it's because I've been working a lot. So,
Hmm.
relationships when one person, I mean, we're both working and
Hmm.
he's working really hard, but I've been working a lot. And so we haven't had time to get out. So he created these stay-at-home movie dates. My husband loves to cook. So he's like theming it all out. Whatever
Oh.
we're watching, eclectic movies and films, he's watching things that I love that but
Hmm.
he's watching them. And then vice versa. I'm like, well, you pick this time. What are we watching? But
Hmm.
just these stay-at-home dates that
Hmm.
remind me so much. We got married right before the pandemic, like right the
Hmm.
last
Hmm.
event people went to before the
Okay.
pandemic. And so you've got a new marriage and you're stuck together,
Yeah.
quarantined. It could have gone either way. I was
Hmm.
like, oh, how's this gonna work?
Yeah.
And it actually worked well. And so
Oh.
these little stay-at-home dates remind me of, the times that we had to
Yeah.
be stuck in and we made the best of it. And so
I
though
can
that's
appreciate
what's
that.
bringing me joy lately.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's so much content. So what's the last show you guys watched together or movie or
We
streamed?
watched, let me see, there's so much because
I
we meet
know.
every weekend and there's so much good things. What is the last thing that we watched together? Um, I'm
We
sure
watched.
it was one of his picks, which is why I'm having a hard time remembering. Something with action and
Yeah, that's
uh,
okay. I kind of put you on the spot with that, but yeah, and that's what's hard about it is that there's so much. And
there's so
I,
much.
yeah, and so but I can appreciate those quiet kind of the routine of like my husband and I call it our evening programming. It's like we're senior citizens or whatever. We're empty nesters and it's like we have our evenings and so it's dinner and it's like, okay, let's, kind of move into our evening programming, which is always like whatever we're watching at the time, I mean, it's all the different shows and we just finished Burrows, which I think is on
Eh,
Netflix.
Did you like it?
We did. I mean, it wasn't one of my favorites, but I thought it was pretty. Do you know which one? It's like they describe it as like Stranger Things, which I loved. Matt
Right.
with like Cocoon, which is that old movie about the aging population
Yes.
that okay, yeah. So it's like
Yes.
bringing those two concepts together, which is a very good description of the show, and it was pretty cute.
I am into lately Korean rom-coms. I
Oh,
don't know how I got into them or why they are in my feed, but I am
all right.
enjoying them a lot.
Okay, well, I'm
I
gonna have to look into that.
I mean, we are eclectic. We are all over the
Yeah,
place. We are visiting old movies we haven't seen
yeah.
in so long
Mhm.
that maybe I hadn't seen or he hadn't seen. Like,
Mhm.
this is a great 90s movie that you probably
Mhm.
hadn't seen. It's all over the place. And there's so
Yeah.
many good series.
Yeah.
Godless is a really good series if you have not seen
Which
it.
one?
Godless.
Okay. You're giving me a list of all kinds of fun things to do. All right. I haven't watched that one, so one of the very few probably that I haven't seen. But well, I really appreciate you spending this time with me and getting to know you better. It's been such a
I
pleasure.
appreciate the
Yeah.
invitation. I'm honored and this has been very fun.
Yeah. And are you in Atlanta or do you work remotely?
No, I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, because so yeah, I think I might be coming to Atlanta late in a few months. So if I do, I'll let you know and we can like plan
Please
lunch or
do.
something. Yeah. Okay, I will do
Please
that.
do. Where I can show you some of the food scene here. That's amazing.
Would love that. All right. Well,
All
you take care.
right.
Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye
All
bye.
right, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.